Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the VOD Squad, the show where we talk about streaming technology. This is episode 290 on June 8th, 2022. I am Clyde, and today I'm joined by Matthew Ross.
Hello, everybody.
And Jimmy Trammell.
Hey, guys. 290. Man, we're getting up there.
Yeah. We finally exceeded my weight. So, although over the last couple of years I've been keeping pace.
Oh no!
We'll see.
We exceeded my weight a long time ago.
Yeah. What's going on?
Happily, so.
All right.
So, anybody notice anything different about me and how I look?
Did you get a haircut?
No.
New glasses?
No.
Oh.
MMA fight.
Oh, did you have some work done on your chin?
Exactly. I went ahead and decided to get the nice square jaw, but I could only pay for half.
Oh, okay. You'll go in for the other half.
Eventually.
Oh, okay.
No, I had a tooth that's been bothering me, and so things got really puffy yesterday. It's calmed down a lot today, but it's been bad. I'll try not to cough on camera. I'll try to, but because it's doing things to my throat. And, but otherwise, that should be good. Should be fun. And I got to actually sit back on my TV and try to stay awake and watch television yesterday.
All right.
Which was interesting. I'll talk about that in Rants and Raves.
Okay. Sweet. What about you, Jimmy? What's going on?
Just same old. Another day. Actually had Monday off. Can you believe it? They work actually let me have a day off.
And it wasn't even Memorial Day.
No, it was not. Yeah. Then I even have next Monday off as well. So, yeah, man, just making up for some of those 70-hour weeks that I've worked here recently.
Sweet. Congratulations.
Take as much time off as you can, sir. Definitely.
Absolutely. And then, all right. Well, why don't we just get into it?
If you want, I suppose. YouTube TV has been talking about having 5.1 audio surround for years, basically since it came out.
Yeah.
And a couple weeks ago, they finally announced that a couple of the systems would be getting it. These are the integrated systems like your Samsung TVs and LG TVs. And
Didn't they say they were putting it on Apple TV like a couple weeks ago?
Maybe they put it on the Apple TV too. I'm not exactly certain. But this didn't include, what you would expect it to be on, like the Android TV. So, that we're happy to announce this week that they have finally released an update for the Google TV, Android TVs, and Roku devices that support 5.1 audio. Now support 5.1 audio on the YouTube TV app. So There you go. Finally.
Now I just need a way to have 5.1 audio from my Roku. Well, there is in the living room, but I never watch TV in my living room.
A little surprising that they're this late to the game with 5.1.
You see, and that right there is why I think I seem to remember it being announced for Apple TV because I was railing on the fact that their own product still isn't available on their own product, but it was elsewhere.
So what was the holdup? Was it hardware or was it software?
I'm going to say it was software because 5.1 has been available on the Roku for years as a capability. It's clearly been available on Android TV and Google TV for a long time. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what the reason was. But
Yeah, I would have thought it would have already been there, right? Kind of surprising to say, oh yeah, hey, by the way, 5.1 audio.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's using the AC3 or EAC3 codec. That's their new, the new open source one, right?
Okay.
I think it's open source. Yes.
Yeah. I think that. But I mean, we first talked about that codec 3 years ago.
The codec is the VC1.
Okay, that's maybe the one I'm thinking of.
AC3 is the audio codec.
Yeah.
I think it's technically the VC1 codec is the one that originally was Opus and Vorbis, and then they changed it into they kept going through iterations of the format until the VP8 and the VP9, and then finally they got a VC1 or AV1. I think no, it was
they should have stuck with VP9 because that's one of the best guns that Heckler and Koch ever put out.
Yeah. Whatever the case is, it's the AV1 is the codec that ended up being the one that they end. So,
okay.
All right. Looks like we had some updates from Apple this week. They had their Worldwide Developer Conference, and as part of the conference, they had some interesting updates for us. They are finally bringing HDR 10 Plus to the Apple TV, the iPhone, and the iPad, as long as you're using the Apple TV app. So, in other words, they have set it up with the necessary equipment and necessary hardware or software. I'm not exactly certain how they're doing the decode for this HDR plus 10 plus situation. There's the other competing standard, which is Apple, which is Dolby Vision HDR. I think that one works across all different kinds.
Yeah, I mean everybody's been using Dolby Vision forever.
But the HDR 10 plus format, which supposedly is better, I'm not here to tell you one way or another, is available on those platforms now, the Apple platforms. But right now, the only people who can do it is Apple. So
yeah. So that was going to be my question: is what's the difference?
So
I'm certain somebody knows. It would have to be somebody else who cares, because I have opinions.
So I mean, HDR 10. So I know Dolby Vision makes adjustments throughout the stream, and I believe HDR 10 does the same thing, where it makes brightness and darkness level adjustments based on the scene. So that super dark fight scene in Game of Thrones that nobody got to see, theoretically, would have been fixed automatically. I mean, I believe the big thing about it is that it's dynamic, whereas like the just HDR or the Dolby Vision, or the original Dolby Vision, just did like static settings. So these are dynamic. If that makes sense.
Okay, so I guess that's the plus. And
Yeah.
What the plus comes in. Okay, all right. Well, yeah. Okay, so I guess that is a difference. And
feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to go off of memory. And so, you write to us, thevodsquad@gmail.com.
yeah.
Apparently, there's other things like the HDR 10 plus and is higher peak nits brightness and other things that are desirable as well. So it'll pierce your eyes even harder when that they shine you in the eyes with the things.
So when you get the bright flashing lights, your epileptic seizure will be twice as intense.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what you want.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've noticed on Apple TV Plus. They start putting that warning on movies and TV shows now that oh hey, this movie or TV show contains bright lights, and that kind of thing. So Sign of the times, right?
Yeah, I mean the thing though that really gets me on this is they're like, "Hey, we're offering this to you, but only if you watch it through this one specific app." So if you watch the same thing through their native app, you won't get it. So
This is just them figuring out how they want to do it, and then later on,
sure,
API for other people to do it. So
sure,
it's fine, but
Yeah,
it is a little sad.
Well, I mean, they're going to offer it first to the hardware and software that they control.
Yeah,
and
but
they'll make it offer.
It's not the hardware specifically. So I mean, they're not saying that, hey, you can watch this on your Apple TV. It's you can watch it on your Apple TV if you watch the video through the Apple TV app.
Right.
So if you have like a video that you purchased from Apple, if you don't watch it in that specific app, you know, there's other ways that you could watch that content that you own, that you purchase. You won't get it unless it's in that specific app. That's all. So there are going to be people that are going to, start yelling on the internet soon that I have an Apple TV 4K and I watch this thing through the native player and it does not have HDR10 plus.
Are you saying there are going to be people yelling on the internet? No way. It's not possible.
And when the first guy that says that, I'm going to say, really? Can you really tell the difference?
Are you saying that there's the people yelling on the internet are misinformed? No.
Yeah, well, All right. You know where the next great drama or comedy is coming from?
China.
That's right where you thought it would be coming from. TikTok. TikTok is providing a new series for you to watch. It's co-produced by the people Pure Pop, who I've never heard of, but they're making a film, basically a short series. It's I think it's up to 8 different episodes of these 30 minutes long each, and it's making it's called Finding Jericho. And it's about a clown who's doing interviews. So it's supposed to be funny. I have no idea. This will be something that you can pay $5 in order to have access to this series soon. Which I actually, the idea of spending $5 to get a short TV show series,
sure,
is fine. TikTok doesn't immediately come to mind as where I want to go to get my media, but that's fine.
I mean, $5 will get you 5 months of the VOD Squad.
It's true. Yeah.
That's 20 episodes ish.
I gotta try this TikTok. I've yet to try it, and but hey, man, I don't want to watch any clown shows at all.
No. So remind me, isn't TikTok owned by China?
The owner of TikTok is connected by the Chinese military, one way or another.
So my initial guess was correct, sort of.
Yeah. So there is a great fear that that TikTok can be at any time be turned into a China-based medium.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to get into that. No, it was at the beginning you asked where it was coming from, and I said China. But then it turns out I was technically right.
Yeah.
Okay.
On a very technical way of looking.
Yeah, I mean, more content from more places. Awesome. Am I going to sign up for this? Probably not. Mostly because I don't have any interest in anything clown related.
Me either. Yeah, I think I've said on the show before, I'm sort of chlorophobic, right? So I don't like anything clown.
Yeah. So if it was something else, maybe.
I'm sure they will come out with other things, especially if this is successful. And, clowns, for the most part, get a bad rap. but sometimes they are the scariest things ever. So, yeah, I understand.
Who was that? Ted Bundy? Wasn't that the clown killer?
No, I don't know if Ted.
Jimmy would know. Who was the serial killer that was a party clown?
That was Wayne Gacy.
Oh, Wayne Gacy. There we go. Yes.
Horrible.
That need I say more?
All right. The state of New York is introducing a new Senate bill called the Right to Repair, and it has passed the Senate.
They had passed it. They didn't want to introduce it, but it passed.
It did pass, and this means that nothing is going to happen until it gets signed into law by the governor. But if it were to be signed into law, this would mean that anybody who's selling any digital object or product would have to be able to provide parts and repair guides and schematics to any device that you sell, which seems pretty cool to the lowly guy like me down here in the world who wants to, maybe repair my own devices. Yeah. This is going to be turn into a huge thing. I think this is going to be fought on multiple fronts from various people in the world.
It has been already. Right. This is a result of the work that people like Louis Rossmann have been putting into over the last several years. He's had to go speak in front of Congress several times on this very subject. Right. The fact that New York is actually passed it is a big step. It's probably the first thing that New York has passed that actually makes sense in decades. But whether or not I'm interested to see the impact on what states follow suit. Because if New York's willing to do it, then it shouldn't be hard to get it passed everywhere else.
Right. And it looks like it's not forcing OEMs to continue to, stockpile parts if they can't get the parts anymore.
No, it had to do, and it really stemmed from, like Louis Rossmann had a business fixing, Apple products that Apple claimed were unfixable. And the problem was that they do not make their parts available to repair facilities.
Right.
And this would basically force them to.
Yeah. I read somewhere that the biggest lobbyer against the right to repair is Apple. Mm-hmm. In a way, it does make sense. They do like their. They like to hold their hardware products.
And again, this isn't like warranty stuff either.
No.
Well, they have a program, right? You just have to be a certified repairer.
Well,
right? Of their stuff. I mean, there's one close to my house. I take stuff over there all the time, right? It's not an official Apple store, right? But they're a certified Apple repair shop, right? So. But I do like this law, right? Because I do think this will open up opportunity for people to get into this line of work.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, because there are already people in this line of work. Because I'll use Lewis again as an example. He's had to, since Apple would not make the parts available, he would have to stockpile old devices that weren't salvageable for one reason or another, just so he could pull parts out of it and be like, hey, well, your USB jack that they say can't be replaced, I can replace it with a used one, unfortunately not a new one.
If they force them to provide schematics and all that, then you could actually build the part from scratch. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's that's an extreme that they weren't even looking for. They just wanted to be able to go to Apple and say, hey, I need this part, because I've run into this personally with I've got a Roland keyboard amp that I am perfectly capable of fixing, and but they will not sell me the part. All I need is a stupid potentiometer that has no markings on it. Even if they just told me, you know, the model of that potentiometer, I could go source it. I could fix this amp. But I'm not. I'm basically stuck with an amp that is not working because, number one, they won't work with me. And if I go to the local place, they won't just give me the part. They have to take it in as service, and then they want to charge me like $400 to do something that I can do myself. You know, and this is not an average person problem, but this is this goes right to that right to repair because it's my device. I am fully qualified to fix it, but Roland will not even discuss with me options to get the part.
Yeah, of course. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be stipulations in there that it has to be, you know, within a certain age of the device, you know, that kind of thing. I could see the law having some stipulations like that.
It's just got to be, you know, as long as, you know, the parts are available.
I mean, I don't think they're going to make Apple, you know, make parts for the original iPhone.
No. That's what we said. It's, you know, it's stuff that's no longer produced. They don't have to keep it in stock. But as long as they have it, as long as they still have some on hand, you should be able to get it.
Right.
We've spoken in the past about the idea of things being open sourced after things are no longer useful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with Apple having like a 5-year moratorium on their own things where they're like, we're not sharing nothing. You wouldn't get it repaired, send it in. And then 5 years later, they say, okay, it's been 5 years. We'll open it. Here's the specs.
Yeah.
Here's everything you need to know. That would be better than what we currently have. I would love that. Where it's just like, you know, there's a period where it's like, we just want to keep our, you know, our secrets close to us and we don't want anybody else to copy because we know. And I don't care. Anybody could do that. That's not just Apple, just so you know. But I think the idea of devices becoming unusable and because of something simple that could be fixed is irksome, to put it one way.
Yep, I agree.
Another thing announced at WWDC, Apple is interested in making big changes to CarPlay. There was no major announcement about how the CarPlay would change in the future, but they are talking about being able to make changes to your entire computers, your entire car's infotainment system and other displays. So like your speedometer and other things will be able to be updated and taken over by the Apple aesthetics on their device. It also would be able to allow you to mirror your iPad or iPhone's display onto this. So Apple Car? Finally?
Well, there's been, you know, talks about an Apple Car for a long time. Almost as long as the Apple TV, like actual TV made by Apple. Yeah, I don't think I want this, but then again, I will probably never own a vehicle that this would be possible. Mechanical gauges are what I want.
So what it is, right? And I did watch the keynote, right? So what it's going to do, they're working with car manufacturers that the phone would be able to talk to sensors within the car itself and be able to display that, right? And you'd be able to control that from the CarPlay, right? To display things in a certain way using the CarPlay. So. And then, of course, a lot of people on the internet speculated that, okay, maybe this is the first step of having an actual Apple Car, right? Which, does kind of make sense, right? And the rumors have been out there for quite a while, right? That Apple has been working on a quote unquote car, right? It's not clear if they're actually working on an actual physical car, or maybe they're just working on the software, or maybe some service for cars or something of that sort. Right? but yeah, this is I think this particular update of Apple CarPlay, I think it's cool. I like the fact that you could plug your phone into sensors and have information display on your car's displays in the way that you'd want, right? So yeah, I like this, and kind of excited to see it come to be.
I want to mod somebody's car so that it plays the Nyan Cat song.
Oh god.
What and the level is directly linked to your speed, so the faster you go, the louder it plays.
No. Have you okay, so it's a really silly movie, but have you seen the movie Big Flat Liar?
Yes.
The guy's car, he gets basically everything rewired, so he steps on the brake, it hits the horn.
Yeah, yeah.
He turns the blinker on, turns on the wipers and spray. It's like horrible. All right. Apple, another one that they announced this week of interest to us is that they have got a new way of using your iPhone connected to your computer, so you can use it instead of the built-in webcams on your Apple displays to get better picture quality. Now, I'm going to say this from the front. This is a really cool idea, if you ask me, because yeah, the cameras that are built into those displays have to be built into the super thin displays, and they just got 1080p, and it's not the world's greatest 1080p, quite frankly. So yeah, the phone in your pocket has a much better camera or cameras available to you. This system requires a little stand to be connected to your and the iPhones with the I guess it's called the MagSafe for iPhone. That little circle style of connecting.
Mm-hmm.
It connects to that way and hooks up to the top of your screen. Wirelessly connects to your Mac, so you can use it. I think right now it only works on with iMessage. Yep, I see that. And so it allows you to get really quick and easy access to that awesome camera on your phone, right on your Mac.
Yeah, that's Belkin making that little stand. Is who's making that, right?
Okay.
Oh, which makes me immediately go, I don't want it. Because quality is something that Belkin is known for.
Belkin makes some pretty good stuff. I use some of their stuff. Matter of fact, my phone charger that I use, which charges my phone, my watch, and my AirPods all on the same stand.
The MagSafe system is universal, well, quote unquote universal.
Yeah. My problem is just with the company Belkin, partly because going back to my days at CompUSA where I could buy things at cost. I would always buy Belkin stuff because their cost is literally 90% markup. That $50 Ethernet cable, I could get it for like $2.
The cost it should be.
Yeah. And then the quality was never great. But when you're buying it at cost,
right, it's worth it.
It was fine. But yeah. No, it's a cool idea. I'm just set.
And they're not the first to do this. We've seen other
yeah.
This, or different systems.
Yeah.
So
yeah. There's an app out there called Cameo that you could do this already with an iPhone. Right.
The one where you get Cameo, isn't that where you pay celebrities to act like they're your friend?
Yeah. No, it was. Yeah.
You should get Justin Robert.
But it would do the same thing, right? But now this is going to come, built into the phone and. Require no wires or anything like that. So, I think it is right. I think Matt's right. You got a much better quality lens on your phone than on any computer that's built in.
Let me just say that when we were in the midst of the pandemic and everybody everywhere was trying to find a way of getting a webcam because they never bought one and they all sold out real fast, using your phone as your webcam became a very popular option for many people. And so
sure.
Good. I like standards. Apple, make this a standard. I don't care if it's a top-down standard. Just make it so everybody can do it, please. I know it's a big ask. I know, but please. Okay. Let's see here. Google is also doing some updates. They've got this is mostly for education guys, but the thing that really excites me about this is that Google is now setting up a way for you to do your casting onto a different machine from basically mostly from Chromebooks. This is a huge deal for the education market because being able to connect to a remote display has been a challenge, to say the least. Most people have had to do things using screen sharing through the various streaming apps, being Zoom or Meet, to do this correctly. But this is an update which is going to allow a much better and easier way for you to cast directly to your devices in the room, with a nice easy to access, just basically a code for you to type in your screen for you to make that connection. So good on them.
Yeah, no, cool.
I'm excited about it. Sorry, I had to tell the story.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, in the education market, I think this is spot on, right? And I could think of other use cases for it too outside the education.
Absolutely. But here's the thing: there have been third-party Chromecast apps out there where you're trying to let somebody connect to your device and share a screen or something like that. Mm-hmm. Except for the ones that are paid for, they're all crap.
Mm-hmm.
And even the one that Google had for a while, Chromecast for Education, it never worked well. And eventually they kind of let that go on the wayside. So I'm happy that they're taking another stab at it. Hopefully this one sticks, because it's would be nice in some situations to be able to share your screen. So there you go. And the last thing to say is this year, we did not get an E3. Not even an online version of E3. They completely canceled on us, which is real sad. Because E3, quite frankly, is my favorite conference. And I dream one day I will go to E3. That's me. Next year, we're having an E3.
Really? They say they're having an E3. This year, they canceled this year because all of the people that would normally present at E3 just said, it's not worth it. We'll just do it on our own. So this is E3 hoping they can entice those companies to come back and pay them money to appear at their convention.
I hope they're successful. I really am, because E3, to me, the closest thing I've ever done to an E3 is I've gone to the PAX in
could
Seattle.
Just settle for BlizzCon.
I could do BlizzCon, but
I know you're not a Blizzard person per se, like not diehard, but still,
I like a lot of the stuff. It's fine.
Okay,
but E3 is just like E3 has got a lot of big names to it, and I'm super excited to see it come back. I hope they're successful. Quite frankly, I would love it to come back personally.
Yeah, it would go the way of Comdex.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Comdex. Yeah. What was that show called before it was called Comdex?
I don't know. Comdex is already before my time.
Comdex turned into CES.
Yeah.
CES kind of ate a bunch of them and turned into one.
There was another one though that used to.
There used to be like this, like even when it became CES, there used to be 2 shows a year. There was one in Vegas, one in Chicago. And then they eliminated the Chicago one.
Yeah, there used to be one in Atlanta as well.
Yeah.
Just can't remember the name of it. This was back in early '90s. I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. I can't think of it, but yeah, I think a lot of these type of conventions, right, or trade shows or whatever, probably going to go by the wayside, at least on the in-person side of it. I could still see, virtual events. And maybe there'll be some in person, but I don't think they're going to get the crowds like what they had before.
I think they will, but the thing is, the market is constantly evolving. So E3 may not survive much longer, but I believe there could be something else with a slightly different focus that takes its place. Because a lot of the businesses that were the mainstays at E3, as I mentioned, they due to other circumstances kind of forcing them into the position, have chosen to go a different route and then it, might just make more sense to do it that way, because now you have the internet. You do have a direct pipeline to your customer, something you didn't have 10 years ago or even 20 years ago when E3 was massive. And so, yeah, whether or not there will be more, I don't think that's,
Yeah, and I think that's right, Clyde. I think it's, the technology is just facilitating to deliver it in a different way.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, and I think that's really more of what I was trying to say, right? Is that, having the big conference where everybody, huddles up in one city.
And I don't think that aspect is going to go away ever, because there is something electric and about being in the crowd. Same reason that movie theaters aren't going away. There is just something about going to the event at a specific day, specific time, to traveling, seeing people in person, that you just can't replace. Whether or not it continues as E3, I don't know, because the market has changed and it doesn't seem to be. I mean, the information that they're putting out at E3 nowadays, why do you need to be there in person to watch a video? But will there be something that replaces it with a slightly different focus that is in person and is a big draw? Yeah, I think there's something. We just don't know what it is yet. Maybe PAX will grow and step into that role, or something along those lines.
Well, the biggest gaming convention out there is Gamescom, but it's in Germany, I believe.
Well, I thought, isn't that the one they do in Indiana every year?
No, I think Gamescom is in Germany. Okay,
there's a big board game thing.
Dragon Con.
No, not Dragon Con. That's in Atlanta. I don't remember what it's called. I thought it was Gamescom, but there's a big board game, physical game convention that happens every year in, I think it's Indianapolis. Might be Chicago. I don't know.
But PAX East and West kind of took over that kind of summer position, because when the E3 kind of disappeared, but it's because it kind of hits all that geek culture stuff, from comic books to movies to games to role-playing games and all that. So
yes, we were talking about James Caan, Webbit.
James Caan.
See, that should be a title right there.
Or maybe we were talking about Shaka Khan.
Nobody ever talks about Shaka Khan. Except Shaka Khan. Alrighty, well, that brings us to the point in the show where we like to think out loud about the people that support us financially every year. I think a lot of things that I don't dare repeat, but the one thing that I think that I will proudly repeat is we appreciate the patrons.
Are you saying you self-censor yourself?
I try. I try. Some of the people that have been shocked by the things that I have said may be even further shocked to know that there were worse things that I didn't say.
Yeah.
But one of the best things that we can say is thank you. Thank you to those of you that choose to support us financially every month via patreon.com. If you're listening to this after or watching this after the fact and you would like to support us, head on over to patreon.com/the Squad. For the cost of, what was that was $5 a month?
Oh, the TikTok
show.
So for the cost of one season of the TikTok clown massacre whatever the hell it was. You can get 5 months. It's up to 20 episodes or more of the VOD Squad. That's it. You want to watch some demented clown thing on a Chinese-owned platform, or would you listen to me put my foot in my mouth on a weekly basis? I think the choice is clear.
There's one which is more value for your money. I got to tell you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so for the same price of a gallon of gas, you could get 5 months of the VOD.
Absolutely.
Wow.
For once, we've always said that we're not a good investment. We might actually be a decent investment now. You could stay home and listen to the VOD Squad
for a lot cheaper than going anywhere.
Than it would than save what would have cost you to drive just to the grocery store. All right. Well, on that point, let's get into some rants and some raves. Alrighty. Who's got something? Anything?
I was sick yesterday. Obviously. I had my tooth and my face was out to here because it was swollen. And I went to the doctor, to the dentist. The dentist gave me meds and said, go home, take these meds, make yourself feel better, to manage the pain and do whatever you needed to do. And so I got home. And I was sitting on the couch and it's like, well, I'm going to just watch some TV because I got nothing else to do. So I started watching The Book of Boba Fett because I hadn't watched it. And I heard
Aren't you supposed to read a book?
It's a good question. There's a little bit of reading in there, but no, mostly not. And the series is fine so far. I think I'm 4 or 5 episodes in. I did kind of get drowsy and fall asleep through part of one or two of where I currently was. I might have to backtrack and rewatch an episode. But here's the thing. It was daytime, and it was on that TV that has HDR. And it's turning on the HDR for the TV. And it had some dark scenes. It was impossible to see in the middle of daytime because it's so dark. So, not remembering the last time I did this, and I tried to watch the Batman, and it was having the same issue. I stopped the show. I pressed it's a Roku, it's a TCL Roku. So I pressed the star button, which brings up the menu on the side, allow me to adjust my settings, and I looked for I'm looking for a point in that in there that I can turn HDR off. Can't do it. There is no way for you to disable HDR. So, don't know what to say. Well, the magic. Yes, I've seen first and second season of The Mandalorian. After hearing not enough people say you should watch Book of Boba Fett, it's basically Mandalorian season 2.5. I was like, okay, then I'll watch it. So I've been so I tried to sit down and watch this, and I've got these scenes that I can barely see what's going on, and so I'm in the system and I'm trying to, as best I can, adjust the settings. There's some brightness settings I was able to make it so it was a little bit brighter, but man, it still sucks. I'm certain another TV would be able to handle this one way or another. Maybe that HDR 10 plus thing, which would automatically brighten the dark scenes for you correctly, would be making this better.
Yeah.
All I've got to say is that in this current iteration of how things are going on it, I am not a fan. But I did watch one other thing that I am a huge fan of. The new Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie. If you have not seen it yet, you should see it. It is good in so many ways. Please go watch it.
So I just looked it up. You can turn off HDR on a TCL TV, but you have to access the secret menu.
There's a secret menu?
Yeah.
Besides the star menu?
Yeah. I'll put that in
okay.
chat for you.
Okay, I might turn it off and try again. Thank you.
All right. But yeah, Chip and Dale movie. I've been waiting for something to get me to resubscribe to Disney Plus for a month.
Mm-hmm.
And there really hasn't been anything that has been, there's stuff that I would watch if I had a subscription, but nothing that made me need to. And I think this might be the thing that makes me need to do it.
It's good. It's not the world's greatest movie in any way, shape, or form. But it's kids show. It's totally kids show, and they do fun things.
Randy Marsh makes an appearance. I'm there.
I enjoyed it. It was very good.
All right. Awesome. Jimmy?
Yeah, so I actually finished the Bosch Legacy series this past weekend, and oh my, that last episode!
Yeah,
not going to give anything away, but oh my,
I was not happy with that.
I was not either, and was not expecting that. Right.
The thing that I was not expecting was that was the last episode.
Well, obviously, there's got to be another season.
Oh, no, it actually there wasn't going to be. It just got renewed like yesterday for a second season. I read that today. So thankfully, I watched that at first and I was like, that's rough. And I was waiting for the next episode, thinking there would be like one, maybe two more episodes, to find out, wait, there's no more episodes?
Right.
Oh, this is not the way you want this to go out if it doesn't get picked up. Luckily, there is a second season.
I mean, I realize that it's not the, one of the more popular TV series out there, but man, it is really good.
It's good.
I guess maybe it's not so popular, I guess, because it doesn't have the A-list actors in it and that kind of thing and all. But but all the actors that are in it.
I would say, what's her name is an A-list actor? The lawyer. I can't think of her name now.
Oh, Mimi Rogers.
Yeah, Mimi Rogers is A-list, right?
She was years ago, but not recently.
Okay.
Right. I mean, I think it's got excellent actors in it. Right? And a lot of the actors, you will recognize them, from other,
from Lost
and movies. I mean, from a lot of things, right? Bosch, the lady who played Bosch's wife, she was in 24, right?
Bosch himself was in Lost.
He was in Lost. He was in.
He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's been in a lot. He was in what was the Western movie?
This is the first time I think that I ever saw him as a good guy. Usually he's the antagonist.
Right. And
this time he was still an antagonist, but on the side of good.
On the side of good.
Yeah,
that's right. So great series, right? And I'm glad they came out with this Bosch Legacy to continue the series and all. And if you haven't watched Bosch, go back. Go on to Amazon Prime. Watch the first 6 seasons there. That's
definitely
Bosch proper, and then come in and watch this Bosch Legacy.
Yeah,
right. Definitely worth doing. Also, so there was about 3 years ago, maybe it was 4 years ago. There was this docuseries that came out, and it was released on Netflix, and it was called The Staircase, right? And it's about a true crime type story and all. Interesting docuseries that came out, and recently HBO Max released a TV series of the documentary, right? And they've got really some A-list actors that are playing the parts there in this TV show. So TV show of the docuseries, right? And the thing I like about the TV show HBO me and my wife are watching this one, is that not only does it go in the story, the same storyline as what is in the documentary, but then it actually even talks about the making of the documentary itself in this series, right? So it gives you even more information, and the whole story of this, right? I don't want to spoil anything, but the whole story is a very interesting story. And especially if you like true crime, right? This is one of those that are suck you right in, right? And you'll watch it, and it kind of keeps you guessing throughout the whole thing. And I'll even warn you, if you watch the series, even when you get to the end of it, you're still kind of wondering, hey, did things really happen the way they said it did, or not, right? So it just kind of keeps you guessing through the whole entire thing. But very interesting story. And again, if you like the true crime type shows, which me and my wife do, we enjoy watching those. Really recommend this. I'd recommend watching both the documentary and the HBO series together.
All right, rock on. Yeah, I've got a question for you we can put in the post show. Just going back to Bosch, but speaking of shows that put you to sleep.
Yeah.
I've been trying to watch season 4 of Stranger Things, and man, is it boring.
Wow. The Rule of Clyde. I mean, I gotta say.
I mean, people keep raving. It's a horror movie. Okay, yeah, there are horror elements this time, but man, it's boring. And there's this whole thing about these people that are in another state that have absolutely nothing to do with anything. So why are we even bothering watching these people as they're trying to make their way across the country?
There are about 5 different stories going on.
Yeah, and it's just like, and none of them are like, it's like pick one and stick with it, because none of these are super compelling. Each of them have potential, but none of them are getting enough focus to really matter. I don't know.
To me, I'm actually having no problem following any of them and enjoying them all, except the basketball jocks. I could care less.
Oh, yeah. It's just like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Every time I hear somebody talk about this series, I get, it reminds me, hey, I need to go back and
season 1's great
because I stopped after about maybe 2 or 3 episodes into season 2. I think I just got busy with work or whatever.
Yeah.
Lost track of it. And so now there's like, season 4 out. Right? So I got to go back and catch up on the series. Because you're right. Season 1 was fantastic.
Yeah, but season 1 was a phenomenon. It came out of nowhere. There was no expectation. There was nothing to measure it to. It was just, oh, wow. Okay. But then season 2 and 3, now they had something to measure up to, and they haven't. You're not gonna recapture that electricity from the first one. And yeah, this one, I'm seriously hoping this is the final, because
they said they have one more in them. Season 5 will be the final one.
Because I'm in this whole thing where if I get like a season or 2 into something that's 10 seasons long and I know I don't like it, I can drop it. But I am this far in, I have to finish it. Which is the only reason, because I've already dedicated 3 seasons of watching, and it's the same thing that I'm same position I'm in with Billions. I really did not like the first half of the last season, and I haven't watched the rest of it, but I'm going to force myself at some point to finish it because I need to. And yeah, now that I know that there's going to be another season, now I'm really dreading. Yeah, I mean, there are aspects that are great of the new season. It's just that it's too much. There's no focus on anything. And I just keep finding it. Oh, Stranger Things. Sorry.
Okay.
And I keep falling asleep. And so, okay.
Little Clyde just still applies.
Yep.
That's all I gotta say.
It does.
So at least I know what to put on if I have trouble going to sleep.
Which you'd think it's horror. You probably don't want to watch it and go to sleep. I've had some weird dreams. I will tell you. But yeah,
there's no clowns in this new Stranger Things, right?
No, thank God.
Okay, thank God for that.
Although there is a movie that you need to watch called Stitches.
Oh.
It's a clown movie, but it is like it's the one that proves the rule. It's worth watching, and it's the exception. Trust me, Stitches it's brilliant. All right. Yeah, maybe I should just forget about what I said about the Stranger Things. My rave this week is the movie Stitches. It's a horror movie about a clown that gets killed by some kids, and then he comes back to get revenge. He was like a birthday clown, and they like ran him over with their car, and hit and run kind of thing.
Wasn't that the movie Halloween?
Basically, except this one is like in Ireland. So everybody's got awesome accents, and or it might be Scotland. I don't remember. And it's got it's got the kind of slapstick that I like.
Always trying to steal me Lucky Charms.
Yeah. All right. Well, that brings us back to the point of this show. Ending it.
Oh.
Ending it. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us this week. If you were watching this after the fact, the audio version is available everywhere that audio podcasts are available. Go download it. If you would like a timely version, become a patron. You get a custom RSS feed. Within a couple hours after we're done here, it should be available. Guaranteed available by the time you leave for your super expensive commute to work in the morning. For many of you, it may be cheaper to fly to work than it is to drive at this point. But you at least you can listen to us. Give you something else to focus your rage on. Otherwise, if you haven't joined us live, you should. We got pre-show, post-show you don't get to see anywhere else. You get to submit titles, which we're going to vote on here in just a minute. tbs.showbot.tv. And I think that's it. So. I'll be out of town next week for my cult convention, cult meeting, in Indiana.
Any way you'll make it to the show? Is it possible?
I should be.
Maybe. Okay.
I should be on the show, but
no guarantee. Sorry.
No guarantees. So on that. So hey, if you're like, I would love to watch this show, but I can't stand that Clyde guy. Next week might be your best chance. And if I make it, sorry. You tried. All right. Okay, I think that's it. So we'll see everybody later. I'll head off to the post show. Bye.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.